Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're living in an era where, let's be honest, everyone is searching for a side hustle. Whether you're trying to outpace inflation, build up a little passive income, or just finally escape the whole 9 to 5 grind, that desire for financial freedom is stronger than ever. And scammers, they know exactly how desperate that search can feel. They understand the economic climate, and they are absolute masters at preying on that sinking feeling of constantly being behind. As we comb through the experiences shared by actual users in online financial communities, a very distinct, highly engineered, and honestly super dangerous pattern emerges. So today, we're going to meticulously dissect the anatomy of an online income scam. We'll explore the psychological setup that lowers our defenses, the precise execution of the trap, and most importantly, how you can easily spot the common red flags, especially those notoriously sneaky upfront fees long before you lose your hard-earned savings.
Think about this for a second. I made $60 in 15 minutes doing almost zero work. Then, I realized I was being set up. This striking quote from a recently scammed user perfectly captures the immediate psychological trap that just completely bypasses our normal logic when we're hunting for passive income. I mean, human beings are evolutionarily hardwired to look for efficiency, right? We want the absolute most reward for the absolute least amount of effort. When an opportunity seemingly validates that deep-seated desire and hands us a massive dopamine hit of fast cash, our critical thinking essentially just takes a backseat. We desperately want to believe it's real. But how exactly do we get primed to fall for something that, objectively speaking, sounds way too good to be true? Well, to answer that, we have to zoom out and look at the larger culture surrounding online money-making. So let's look at Section 1, the passive income illusion, hustle culture versus reality.
We have all been endlessly scrolling and seen the cliche videos. You know the exact ones I'm talking about. The guy sitting on the hood of a leased supercar, aggressively pointing at the camera, claiming, "I make $10K a month doing this ridiculously lazy side hustle." It is literally inescapable across every single social media platform right now. But one developer, clearly frustrated by this constant barrage of fake financial claims, created an incredibly clever AI tool called Legititize. And the goal was so simple: just expose their actual revenue models. This tool acts like a digital detective. It transcribes the viral videos, meticulously scans the user's bio links, and maps out the hidden funnels to reveal where the money is really coming from. It gives us a completely unfiltered insider look at the actual mechanics of hustle culture.
Because here is the stark reality. On the surface, they claim their massive wealth comes from highly lucrative, super easy-to-run businesses like automated dropshipping, running faceless theme pages, or simple digital hustles. But under the hood, the actual revenue engine is entirely different. They are actually making their money by selling a $400 Canva course to their followers, ruthlessly pushing high-commission affiliate links, or securing brand sponsorships. So the absolute key takeaway here is that they aren't making money doing the hustle. They are making money selling the dream of the hustle to you. They artificially create this illusion that making easy money online is incredibly common and takes zero effort. And being constantly exposed to that fake easy wealth, it makes us incredibly vulnerable when a seemingly simple opportunity lands directly in our inbox.
Which brings us to Section 2, Anatomy of a Scam, the Telegram Task Trap. The actual trap unfolds in a perfectly engineered 3-step sequence. It always starts with Phase 1, an unsolicited ping on an encrypted messaging app, usually Telegram. A recruiter reaches out of the blue, offering something incredibly small and low stakes. Usually it's something like $4 simply to leave basic online reviews for a movie or a product. Because the stakes are so ridiculously low, our defenses just drop. I mean, it sounds stupidly easy. Then Phase 2, you actually do the tasks. You click the buttons, you leave the reviews, and you watch your digital balance rapidly grow inside their little proprietary dashboard. But then Phase 3 hits. You hit a sudden withdrawal wall. The system tells you that to actually get your money out or to keep working, you need to pay an upfront fee for a premium plan. Now, normally, this is the exact moment anyone would walk away, but there is a massive psychological twist in how they actually get you to pay that fee.
Because before they hit you with the massive fee, they actually let you withdraw a small amount. You do the initial work, you hit the $60 minimum limit, and you nervously type in your PayPal email. Naturally, you brace yourself to be ghosted. We've all been on the internet long enough to expect the rug pull, right? But then, the notification hits your phone. To your absolute shock, the scammers actually send the real money to your account. The $60 clears. In that exact fraction of a second, your healthy skepticism completely evaporates. The dopamine just rushes in. The system is real. The money is physically sitting right there in your hands. So you have to understand, this payout is absolutely not a glitch. It is a highly calculated investment by the scammer to aggressively bypass your logic. Think of it like a marketing budget. We can call this the trust purchase. In the legitimate business world, companies have a customer acquisition cost, right? The money they spend to acquire a paying user. Well, scammers view this exactly the same way. By willingly handing out a small, real payment up front, the scammers are literally buying your instant, unshakable trust. They use that initial payout to weaponize your own greed and excitement against you. You are now entirely hooked, fundamentally convinced that the whole system is legitimate because you have the undeniable proof sitting right there in your own bank account. And that is precisely when the real trap snaps shut. The easy money suddenly hits a brick wall. Your handler reaches out and announces that your free plan is now permanently capped. To keep making this unbelievably easy money, to keep the tap flowing, you have to deposit $300 up front to unlock a so-called premium plan. Because your brain is completely high on the proof of that initial $60 payout, you immediately start rationalizing it. You think, well, it's just business, right? Got to spend money to make money. You willingly consider handing over your own savings because they have successfully and completely manipulated your perception of risk.
And this brilliantly illustrates the cold, hard math of the scammer's operation. $240. They use $60 as bait to buy your trust, betting everything that you will enthusiastically send them $300 right back. If you do, they walk away with a pure $240 profit for doing absolutely nothing. And you know what the most sinister part of this entire operation is? That initial $60 they sent you to build trust, it wasn't even their money. It's stolen cash pulled directly from the pockets of their previous victims, perfectly recycled to pay the next batch of targets. It is a vicious, endlessly self-funding cycle of theft. What happens next is incredibly swift and brutal. The moment you apply basic logic and ask your handler why you have to pay money out of your own pocket to actually do a job, you're blocked. Or, far worse, if you actually fall for the trust purchase, rationalize the upfront fee, and send the $300, the very second that payment clears, poof, the scam ends immediately. The handler vanishes into thin air, and your money is permanently gone. Knowing exactly how this psychological trap snaps shut is only half the battle, though. We really need a concrete checklist to protect our savings moving forward. So let's jump into Section 3, the illusion shattered. Red flags to watch.
The whole goal of this explainer is to arm you with the knowledge to easily identify these common online income scams before they ever get the chance to drain your accounts. So here are the absolutely critical red flags. First and foremost, the biggest one, paying to unlock work. If a platform ever asks you to pay money out of pocket to unlock tasks, close the app and run. Genuine employers pay you. You never ever pay them for the privilege to work. Second, upfront fees disguised as premium plans or account upgrades. Third, absurdly high payouts for bizarrely simple tasks, like liking YouTube videos or leaving basic online reviews. And finally, unsolicited recruiters reaching out on encrypted apps. Scammers absolutely love Telegram and WhatsApp because the messages are encrypted, entirely untraceable, and it allows them to vanish without a trace. If you see any combination of these red flags, especially those upfront fees, you are looking at a scam, period.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one ultimate question to keep in your back pocket. This is the thought that will protect your savings no matter what new, sophisticated shape these scams might take tomorrow. Just ask yourself, if their online hustle is so unbelievably profitable and they actually possess the secret to endless passive income, why on earth do they desperately need your $300? Remember, true passive income is rarely fast, it requires actual underlying value, and